hello and welcome. This is the Nisha Jackson Show. I'm Rusty Humphrey. She's Nisha Jackson. And we're doing some special bonus programs right now because the world has gone crazy go nuts. And is that an official, I believe that's an official term, crazy go nuts.
I think that's a diagnostic term.
Yeah. Obviously, you're a doctor. You've been doing this for a long time, but you've never seen anything like this before, have you?
I haven't. Even my parents, I asked my parents, have you seen anything like this in your lifetime? And of course, they're like, no, not even close to it. And here's the crazy thing, Rusty, is that, of course, we've seen a lot of people who have died. I mean, just how many people are dying monthly from just influenza, the flu. So, I mean, we see this, but I think it's just the spread of this that's very concerning. And I think the main thing that I want to provide for people is some hope for what they can do for themselves.
Okay. Now, when you talk about the flu, that's every year, right? That's nothing different.
Absolutely.
Right.
Every year, every month. And so I just think that it's really important because, I was just talking to my daughter a minute ago before getting on the show, and she was saying, Mom, I'm home. Andrew, her husband's home, and we've had the news on all day, which she knows better than that. But she's had the news on all day, and she said, I am so filled with anxiety just listening to it. It's just so toxic and negative. And a lot of it is informative. I mean, we need to know what's going on, and of course, we need to be listening. But I think it's time for us to provide something that gives people some hope and gives people some direction. And I think it's important just to talk about what we can do to take some control, because I think this feels a little out of our control.
Yes. Hope, direction, and most importantly, the truth.
Yes.
Because we don't, Dr. Nisha, I was in Bangladesh just a couple of days ago. And I mean, this is panic everywhere. And it is scary. And so what I want from you is not all the garbage that's on the TV, because most of those people don't know what the world they're talking about. So let's just get right down to what it is we can do. And what I'd like to start with is, should we boost our immune system? Is that something that makes a difference? And what would you do? Okay.
Yes. And I think our immune system, which involves our entire body and our entire environment, is the one thing that we have control over. We have control over our mind, and we have control over our immune system. And that's the thing that I think we should be putting literally all of our focus on right now, is what we're feeding ourselves, literally feeding ourselves to in our brain and our body, and what we're exposing ourselves to. Because just sitting around, being a vegetable, staying home, eating a lot of sugar and junk food because you're depressed is only making the situation significantly worse. So that's like the last thing you should be doing. When I drove home from the office today, we're still seeing patients in our offices. Obviously, we have to see patients because patients are calling very worried and symptomatic. But when I was driving home today, I saw all of these children running around. It's sunshiny here. All of these children running around. And I thought, that's so great. Because that is the one thing, Rusty, we can do right now to gain control and give us a little bit of an edge on our immune system is get outside.
But isn't that the one thing that they're telling us, don't do it, don't go outside, stay away from people?
No, absolutely not. You need to be getting outside. Fresh air and highly oxygenated air is exactly what you need. And you don't have to be around people when you go outside. I mean, most people live in areas where they can take a brisk walk and don't necessarily have to come in direct contact with people. Obviously, in the hub of a city, you might not be able to do that, or you might not be able to go to a gym right now. But you can exercise in the convenience of your own home. You could exercise with the door open. Even just getting fresh outside air is really important. There's many, many things you can do in your house. You don't need to go to a gym. You could do dancing, you could do cycling, you could be jogging in place, you could use a jump rope, you can do sit-ups, push-ups, lunges. You can do an entire body workout in your garage with the garage door open so you're getting fresh air. And just the very fact that you have your door open and you're getting fresh air coming in that is more oxygenated air, especially if you live in an area where you have more greenery and trees and shrubs, and so you're surrounded by more oxygenated air. That would be awesome too.
Okay.
But just give your mind a break and get outside if you can, and exercise, or exercise in your home if you're in a very crowded area and you're not comfortable going outside.
Okay, I did see one exercise plan where a guy put soap on the floor and put a little water there and then just walked like it was a treadmill. But that probably is not a great idea.
I saw that, and I saw that video, and I was thinking, oh, geez, I could just see myself doing that and just smashing my face like into the washing machine or something.
All right, let's talk about your next one, and that is what?
Drinking fluids. So
alcohol?
ways. Yeah, no. So limiting alcohol, that's not on my list, but I'm really glad you brought it up because right now I think people are depressed. They're very anxious. They're drinking more. And many times when they drink more, that means they're taking in more sugar. And sugar immediately suppresses T cell counts, which is your immune system. So we really, really don't want you to be drinking a lot of sugary alcoholic drinks. And alcohol in general puts more stress on your liver, and your liver is your master detoxifying organ. So we don't want to overtax your liver right now. So, but drinking more fluids is very important. Certainly keeping our tubes flushed out, keeping our throat flushed, especially if we've come in contact with any kind of germs. Flushing them down into our stomach is really important. So, constant drinking of fluids. I like to drink my special concoction here, which is the Brand X supplement.
It's out, and people can get that at takebrandx.com, right?
Takebrandx.com, and these are supplements. They're just individual sticks that you put in your water bottle, and they're really important for building your immune system because they have a high dose of curcumin in them. And curcumin is one of the world's most powerful antioxidants. So it's really important. It looks like a little stick like this. So you just tear off the end.
And they're good too.
Tear it.
They're good.
They're good. It tastes like orange creamsicle. So drinking fluids throughout the day. I try to drink 2 of these a day, which gives you 1,000 milligrams of curcumin. So drinking throughout the day is very, very important for your immune system. And flushing those germs down into your stomach that's filled with acid so it can destroy it is also very helpful. Sleeping extra right now. People are very wakeful at night. Rusty, I can't tell you how many people are calling our office saying they have extreme anxiety. They don't know how to manage their anxiety.
Now, should people be sleeping more or less? Because I feel, now I don't know if it's because I'm jet lagged or what, I seem to be sleeping more, and I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not.
Yeah, so unfortunately, one of the signs of depression is excessive sleepiness or sleepfulness. And so sleeping, but also when you're under stress, Rusty, you should sleep more because that's how your body recovers. So getting to bed earlier and sleeping a little bit longer, or if you're getting up early, if you're waking up at 3 a.m. and your mind is racing, consider some supplements. I recommend the adrenal supplements, the stress supplements from our website, and that helps recalibrate your cortisol rhythms because when your cortisol gets imbalanced from stress, you feel tired during the day, and then when you try to sleep at night, you can't turn your brain off, so it's like racing. So this is one of the most important things for people's immune system is if you get a couple of nights of very interrupted sleep, wakefulness during the night, or you're not going to sleep and staying asleep, the immune system will be compromised. That means your ability to fight off viruses, illnesses, bacteria is going to be compromised. So just sleeping, the very fact of sleeping releases hormones and boosts your immune system, and we need that. We need that restoration.
Okay, let me ask you this: when you go to the store, the shelves are pretty much empty, except for what seems to be the junk, and also the junk is also the stuff that stays longer. That stays, hey, a Twinkie will last a long time.
Right.
Is that bad? I mean, I feel bad, but I'm eating cookies and stuff that I don't want to eat, but I know they stay good. What do you suggest?
I know. I was just talking to some people today, and they were saying, "Oh, I'm so worried about being off of work for a couple of weeks because all I'm going to do is sit around and eat sugar and make cookies." I'm like, please don't. And I know I'm like that too. You know, when I'm home a lot, I just want to like start baking and eating ordering pizza. Of course, probably can't get it right now. So that literally is the worst thing that you can do. It'll make you more depressed. Heavy starch and heavy sugar intake will make you more depressed. It'll make you more tired. It will make you have more cravings, and it will suppress your immune system. Those are all the things we're trying to get you away from. So loading up on a lot of vegetables, very few fruits, maybe not more than 2 fruits a day, but mostly vegetables. And I know some people are having a hard time even getting vegetables right now.
Few fruits. Why is that? Because normally fruit is good, isn't it?
Yes, fruit is actually very good for you, but in small quantities, because again, we're trying to limit the overall sugar intake. So if somebody decides to have 6 or 7 fruit servings a day, it's just too much sugar overall, even though it's considered natural sugar. So we try to get patients to still have fruit because there's a lot of benefits to your immune system of having citrus in your diet. But we want to limit the fruit just from the overall sugar standpoint. Vegetables are really the way to go. So if you have access to that, or even getting frozen vegetables and using those, if that's all you have access to, even that is good. And everybody should be planting a garden, for Pete's sake. I mean, it's the right time of year to plant a garden.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't you think?
It is. It is. Are you worried about all this stuff? I mean, we got, and people are also probably smoking more. They're probably drinking alcohol. We talked about that a little bit. I mean, It's kind of in general, just We're doing the wrong things.
Yeah, and I think it's the natural reaction for stress. Most people, when they encounter stress, their fallback is something that's familiar. And something that's familiar is something that gives you instant gratification. Instant gratification comes from sugar. It comes from staying up and watching TV, or staying up and being on your phone or your computer, and drinking, using certain drugs. I mean, it's instant gratification. It fixes the brain chemical that's imbalanced at that particular time, but it only fixes it for a little bit, and then it drops again, and that's really the habituation cycle that starts. So I always tell people it takes about 72 hours to get on top of a sugar habit. So if you feel like a failure when it comes to eating sugar and you don't know how to get a handle on it, it's so important to just tell yourself it takes 72 hours of not eating it to get a handle on it. And that means that you have to allow your body to be away from it. And that means it really can't be in your house, because if you're anything like me, you will hunt that stuff down and you will eat it. And I don't care if it's in the garbage can, you'll find it. And I know I will. So it's hard. I can't have it around me. It's too difficult. And I just know I'll eat it. And this is the one time in the world we really should be paying attention to this stuff. We should be exercising. We should be feeding our body good foods. We should be resting and sleeping and feeding our brain good thoughts. These are all the things that we have under our control. And we're going to do some more episodes of other things that we can do. But smoking and drinking, can't be doing it. It immediately suppresses your immune system. And this coronavirus that we're talking about is a lung virus. We cannot be smoking. You can't be smoking. Right. So if you do, really work maybe on this downtime of not smoking. That we do have a little bit lower stress right now if you're not working, or if you're at home taking some time off. Some people are working like crazy because they're working in an industry that they need to go to work. But now is the time to really take your health into consideration. This might be the one sort of push that we need to start straightening up a little bit and getting that chance to get ourselves under control with our immune system. We only have one system. Might as well take care of it, right?
Right. All right. So we are going to be doing something a little bit different for the next few weeks. And that is we are going to do a couple of shows a week as this coronavirus thing is shutting everything down. Dr. Nisha has a lot of information and a lot of things that you need to know. So what we suggest is, first of all, go to takebrandex.com and take your Brand X, and that's going to help you feel a lot better, number one. Number two, if you would please subscribe to this show. Whether it is on Facebook or it's on YouTube or wherever you're finding us, The Range. Please subscribe to the show so you know when new ones are going to come out, because we got some really important information. You can also find more about Dr. Nisha Jackson at nishajackson.com. Anything else that you want people to know about? I know we've got more shows coming, probably every Tuesday and Thursday for the next foreseeable future, right?
Yes. Tuesday and Thursday would be great. Now, we're going to talk about supplements next. As we've been flooded with phone calls. We do a lot of vitamin shots and IVs in our offices, along with general primary care. So I want to talk a little bit about, if you had a few supplements that you could take right now that would give you the best bang for your buck, what would they be? So stay tuned. We're going to do that show next. So okay. I want you all to hear that.
All right, that's great stuff. Again, subscribe to the program wherever you're watching or listening: YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, The Range Broadcasting, whether you're listening to us on the radio. You can literally find this program and watch it on any device, anywhere, at any time, any place in the world. I watched it, some of this in Bangladesh while I was over there. So that was, I did. I was bragging on you. All right, that's it. Thank you so much. We'll see you again soon. My name is Rusty Humphreys. She's Dr. Nisha Jackson, and we'll see you next time here on The Nisha Jackson Show.